Hello and welcome to the 7th video within the Through the Eyes of a Student Python programming tutorial series. In this video I will be going over how to create a menu of items for a user to purchase, and it can be editable at your own discretion. And then at the end it will actually calculate how much each item costs and include the tax and how much the purchaser or the customer will owe you at the end of the program. So this, as I said, this will be including the some of the math operators from the previous video, and also any of the other information we have went over in my previous videos. So if you haven't watched any of them, please go check them out so you can be caught up and easier for you to follow along. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is, so for this particular, you can do it however you want, but for this I'm going to actually have like an idea of what I'm just going to call this the fruit stand. So we're going to create like a digital fruit stand for someone to purchase from. So as I said before, I'm going to start just putting a quick header just so we're all in the habit of doing this. Just gonna put a random date because I don't know when this video will be uploaded, to be honest. And then a description: online fruit stand. Alright, that's good enough. So what we want to do is we can just put a welcome, like a greeting to whoever opens up the program, I guess. So welcome to my fruit stand, or welcome to John's fruit stand. That should be good enough, and that'll be just a print statement of what pops up when you first open the program. And then I'm just going to put, as I did before, I'm just going to put a couple of line breaks so that it looks a little better. And okay, so now what I want is a menu that someone can actually just view. There's probably many ways to do this, but I'm just going to use, as I discussed in my strings video, I'm just going to do a way you can do strings and actually format a window or a menu that way, using triple quotes. So the first thing, I just have to put in a print function, and then I'm going to use triple quotes, so that way I can kind of organize it on multiple lines, like organize an actual menu. So I want it, okay, so I guess the first thing I want it to say is, we currently have the following available for you to choose from. That sounds about like a menu, I guess. And then I will put it like this. I'll just put a space actually. Apples, oranges, bananas, grapes, and I don't know, melons. That's 5. 5 should be fine. And on the menu, you usually would want a price, so they want to know how much they're going to be paying. And if I put prices on here, it's just going to be completely made up and definitely not off of current market value. So just use that as a precaution, because I'm not. You can put whatever you want, really. So I don't know, apples. Let's say 50 cents. So you can organize, like, since I use triple quotes, you can order this and organize this however you want, really. But I'm just gonna do it like this because I think it would look. I've already messed around with this a little bit, so I think this is how the best way I could get it to look, in my opinion. Then also this video, kind of like my video about my last program that I showed you, it was kind of long, so I had to split it. And this video will probably be similar. I'm assuming it's going to be really long, so it might have to be multiple parts. And I'm just putting these dots just to make it look, I guess, cleaner. You don't have to put them. You can just put a giant space in between if you want, or however you want to do it. And melons can be $1, sure. It's probably really cheap, but alright, and then I think that'll be all for the menu. So we can just go ahead and close it with ending our triple quote. And alright, so yeah, that should make it so we can organize it like this, and it should go fine. I'll check it after we finish our inputs section of the program. So I'm going to put 2 more line breaks. And then, alright, so I guess now we can start creating our variables to start off. So as you could probably guess at this point, the only variables we really know that we might need would be each item. So I'm going to go ahead and create a variable for each item, but I'm also just going to include that within the user input. Yeah, I think that would be the best way to do it. So I'll just show you, you'll see what I'm talking about. So apples for my first variable, because I mean, it's apples. Then I'm going to put user input, and then I'm going to ask them how many apples would you like. So I guess a better way to do this, instead of, because the way I'm going to do it is it's going to ask, like, so they're going to see the menu, but even though they see it, it's going to ask for each individual thing, like, do you want apples, do you want oranges, or how many apples would you like, how many oranges would you like, etc., all the way through the menu. So I'm not sure, there probably is a better way to do it, so they can only go through the ones that they're actually interested in. Like if they knew they weren't want bananas, it wouldn't prompt them to ask them if they wanted bananas. But that's a little more advanced and technical, and I'll probably be utilizing, because we have to use like if statements and other types of things that we haven't went over yet. So once we get to that stage, I might come back to this and make a better like an interactive menu, instead of just this one that just goes through the entire menu every time. But for now, we'll just do this. Then let me just go ahead and do the variables for all of these. So next is oranges. So it's literally copy and paste of all this, except for just changing a word. So I can probably just do really quick. So then that would be bananas, grapes, melons. So bananas, grapes, I've never seen anyone buy individual grapes, but I mean, it works, I guess, for this. Alright, melons. Alright, and then I'll put another line break. Alright, so one issue that what we learned from last time that I already know what we should do is, so these inputs that's prompting the user, it's asking for a number. So how many? So we're wanting the user to input a number. So by that, then we know that it needs to be an integer. So all of these need to be integers. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So integer, and then you got to close the function at the end. Probably should have done this while I was originally doing it. Alright, so I'm just going to run this really quick to see if there's any errors on the beginning input part. And then if not, we can just continue on. Alright, so it doesn't look there. It's not going to give us any output yet, but at least it doesn't, I don't see anything noticeable in it. See how, I like how this looks. You can mess around with it to see if you can get something that you like better, but for now that should be fine.